Coming up in this episode, we get full of hot air. Buonasera e benvenuto a Dreams of Wings. And you will be pleased to know that is where the Italian finishes. I'm not going to murder another beautiful language. Here we are in beautiful Tuscany in Italy. I love Italy. Beautiful country. And you're asking, why have you brought us to this field? Well, we're going to do something a bit different. We are going to be flying the brand new Hype Performance Group balloon. Yes, that's right. The people who make the H145 helicopter that I've absolutely fallen in love with have now made a balloon. And I never thought of flying a balloon in the flight sim. So this is going to be an interesting experience. This is the first time I've flown it. I'm going to fly it with you. That crew does look very familiar. Right, here we go. I do recognise you, mate. I do recognise you. You look a little bit like... No. No. I fly helicopters, you see, mate, and you do look a little bit familiar. You do look a little bit like my co-pilot, but it couldn't possibly be you because we're in a field in Italy, so yeah, can't be you. Right, so I'll talk a little bit more about once we get into the air, so we need to get going. Let us... Excuse me, madam. Sorry. Let's get over here. Turn on the gas. And then up on the top here, yeah, we can see our pressure gauge. So we have got the gas going up there. So we've got our main gas valve, which is the red trigger here. So this is kind of what we're going to be using to do the burn and fill the envelope. Now, whoa, yeah, okay, that's working. So just testing my throttle lever there because that's what is linked to the, well, there's two burners. And again, we can talk a bit more about that when we get into the air. We've got the pilot light, which is the gold lever here, which opens and closes the small valve, which really maintains the pilot light. Now, that is, it's kind of I guess it's difficult for them to simulate everything in the confines of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So you can operate that, but actually the main burner will always ignite as if there's an electric starter there, so that actually doesn't really do anything. Also, the gas metering valve, we can move it, but as that can't really be simulated in Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're already getting the kind of perfect amount of gas coming in to the system. The pressure valve there we've actually already seen, so we see what that does. So shall we try and fill our envelope full of hot air? Let's see what happens. Go for both burners and watch and see what happens. Starting to go. Okay, so hopefully soon, here we go. Oh, we're moving. Now we need to gain a bit of height. Yeah, that's all right. If you're going to have to jump out, if we start getting nearer them trees, you're going to have to jump out, mate. Save a bit of space. Not going to get her to jump out in the back there. There we go. Beautiful shadow on the trees there as we take off. So we need to keep an eye on the envelope temperature here. We don't want to exceed 200, so let's just come back a bit. And as you can see, it's already warning us that we're going to overheat. And I am just going to check those temperatures very quickly in case I've actually already exceeded them. I was getting a bit carried away there. Let's have a look. I'm just having a quick look at the manual now to see what the... I'm sure I've read it somewhere. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see if we can find it. That view, just beautiful. Yeah, 150 is where we're in danger of overheating. So just as well we don't go any further than that. So look at that view. Absolutely amazing. So this really is quite surprisingly beautiful. Very interesting, just doing some outside shots and panning around a bit and then looking around. You kind of get to understand that one of the real beauties of simulating a balloon is that you really do get to appreciate the scenery in this sim in a way that you probably couldn't in previous simulators where the scenery wasn't quite so beautiful and realistic. In this it's just absolutely quite stunning, and obviously it helps that this is a stunning part of the world. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Sorry mate, didn't mean to look down your ear. So right, let's not get too carried away by that, because I need to talk to you a bit about the balloon itself and what this all kind of really entails. So really, what is it about? So first of all, a balloon works by heating air in the envelope. It makes the air less dense as it gets hotter, and therefore it means that as it's of a lower density to the cooler air around it, it means that it's going to rise, and that means that we go up, and that's really it. We have our two burners here to heat the air, to make us go up or to maintain altitude, and then where did I see it? Over here we have this handle, which if we pull that, it's going to open some vents and it will allow colder air to rush in, and it means that we would start to descend. Interestingly, if you look down here now, you can see we have an altitude, we have a vertical speed indicator, and we've got our envelope temperature, and if I click that, you can see we've got our ambient temperature as well. So what this is telling us at the moment is that because the air is starting to cool, we are starting to sink a little bit. So if I just give the gas a blip, heat the gas up a little bit, heat the air up rather, there we go. And that's really what it's about, he says, having never done this before. But you can kind of get an idea now as to why when you watch a hot air balloon, they're kind of, at times, they're jockeying the burners like that. And I love the way you get that lighting effect. I don't know if you saw that, but let's do it quickly. You just see the light from the burners reflecting off the instrument panel there. There we go. So we're maintaining an altitude. How do we steer a balloon? Very simply, in the real world, you go where the wind takes you. And what you have to do is, if you're trying to go in a particular direction and luck is on your way, or pre-planning is part of your skill set, which is always a good thing, you can use the different directions of winds at different altitudes to kind of steer you along. In the sim, we have two modes. Let's get, where is it? It's up here, isn't it? We have two modes. We have wind, which is what we're doing now. So we're just going at, what have we got? So we've got a 50 knot wind coming from 287. So that's just going to take us in that direction. We could also, if we had a flight plan loaded into the sim, we could click on nav, and that really is just like an autopilot in an aeroplane. So it will follow the flight plan. If you've got a particular route that you want to go on, then it will follow that. You've also got an autopilot mode, although this is more for the burners, where you can either set it so that it will stay at a fixed barometric altitude, or with height it will stay at a particular height above the ground, so it will keep jogging along and making sure that you're not going to bang into anything lumpy and bumpy. So where are we at the moment? I'm just having a look. Actually, I can show you, because this has got the feature, hasn't it? Let's come back out of here. Get the click spot. Little nav map. Fantastic tool. If you haven't got it, highly recommend it. It's free. I use it for my normal flying. And as with the helicopters, you can link it to your link it to the tablet in the cockpit here. You just run the what is it? You run it as a web server in Little Nav Map, and then it'll connect. So you can kind of see where we are. Actually, that's quite handy. At some point when we land, we are going to have to try and pick something relatively flat. So that might be over there. Let's just give it a quick burn again. I love that. This is so atmospheric, trust me. In VR, this would be absolutely amazing. I can't even begin to imagine. And I can't wait to try it out, actually, to see what it's like. Right, so we've done that. We've talked about the burners. We've talked about how we go up and how we go down using this piece here. I'm just making sure there's nothing else. So really, what we want to do is maintain a temperature of around about 100 degrees, which will give us like a shallow climb. What we don't want to do is overheat, because then we can actually cause damage to it. Yeah, it's just something that we've got to be aware of. The other thing we've got to be aware of is that we don't allow too much, or we don't allow it to cool too much, because what will then happen if I jump outside, you're not going to see it now, isn't that beautiful, is that you'll actually see the canopy. Say the canopy, we're not in a parachute. The envelope will start to start to wobble. And at that point, that's when we know that we're in danger, and the wind could catch it, and it could actually kind of fold over or collapse on itself. And that's when really what you're actually doing is creating a parachute that isn't really going to do a great deal for you, and you are going to come crashing down. Amazing. That is just so very scenic. So yeah, that really is kind of your challenge, making sure that you don't get too cool that you're going to cause problems. I'm now going to do the burner, but I'm going to do it on the lever this time, just so we can see what that's like. Just a little bit conscious that we've got a hill coming towards us, so I'm going to take us up to about 100 degrees so that we can start climbing a bit. Just looking down at the VSI, you can see the VSI is now showing that we are climbing. Oh. Off we go. There we are. This is beautiful. Looking down on these, I guess they're vineyards down on the side of the hill. Really is quite stunning. What do you think? Yeah, that's definitely the co-pilot from the helicopter. I recognise that steely glare from anywhere. So this is it. This is the this is really the basics of how to fly a balloon. Right. Okay, let's just give it a quick burn so we can hop over here. Make sure we don't hit those lines. Okay, so let's quickly talk about some other features while we're here. So we'll take it out of that mode. What else have we got? So we've got a little nav map, which we've talked about. It also has its own built-in map here, and that's giving us our heading and our speed and also our altitude. We've got a little nav map, which I talked about. We've got this here, which will give us the brightness of the tablet, and also we can select the autopilot. We can play Flappy Bird, just in case you, you know, get a little bit bored of the view. Let's face it, that's not going to happen if you pick the right place. Stunning. You could really only do this in the simulator. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's have another quick burn. There are a lot of trees around here. I was kind of hoping we'd head more over in that way, but we'll see. Right, and then we've got something called Hype Radio. Now I'm going to be very careful here because I don't want any copyright strikes or anything boring like that. So the way this works is that, like with the helicopter, there's something called a scenario editor, and within that there is and this is something that you run separately on the PC, and that has a Hype Radio tab on it now. So if I click on this, I've actually already connected it, and then if I select this, actually let me just quickly open here because I don't. I'm only going to give it a quick burst just in case. There we go. So I'm a coward, aren't I? So what this is actually giving you is, and this is incredibly clever and incredibly immersive, really, when you think about it, it's going to pick up radio stations local to your area using the app. And what that means, when I tested the connection just before, and I went onto that radio station that I just selected there, I actually got a chap talking in Italian. And trust me, it suddenly adds so much to the experience when you hear the language of the country that you're flying in like that. So that's very clever. And it's just another thing, as you're doing a flight like this, you can stick the radio on. and you can have something to listen to as you look out onto the scenery, and you get even more immersed by hearing the sounds and the music and the speech of the area that you're flying in. So that's an incredibly clever move. Okay, another feature we've got, which is kind of cool, is that we can create AI balloons around us, so that we're not just the only balloon in the sky. And you'll have seen from pictures and videos, quite often you see these big balloon fly-ins. So let's do that. So if I now click on create, there we go. There's one over there. What else have we got? And some over there. Okay. Okay, so the other thing that we've got here, and this is quite handy because we seem to be coming into land, is I am going to very quickly change the lighting. So let's go dark. We can see we've got a head torch. It's spookily dark now, isn't it? Let's jump to the outside. There we go. Let's quickly, if I move here we go. So you can see the burner really nicely lights up and creates atmosphere over here as well. You can actually also see more clearly as I move the throttle lever. When I open it to a certain extent, I get one burner. When I go all the way, I get two burners. So that's nicely implemented. Right, because it's very silly to try and land a balloon in the dark, we're now going to turn the clock back a bit. There we go, not too far back. Let's have some nice atmospherics. So we're just going to bump over this hill here, and then we're going to try and land over on the other side. Oh! Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. There's something I haven't shown you yet. We're climbing, aren't we? We are climbing nicely. Let's just quickly go back to the dark. Right. You lot, just be a bit careful. I am having a fiddle around here to get these. There we go. And we're going to aim it over there and... Hey! Let's have a look. That's lovely. Little bit of fun, little bit of extra immersion. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There we go. I like that. So, right. There we go. And you can, back onto the, where did I say it? We'll get rid of all the other balloons now. And let's go back here. And it was in settings, wasn't it? You can either have 4 rockets or you can set it to infinite. So you can go up and to your heart's content, let off a load of fireworks and have a great time. Nice little fun feature, that. Okay, let's think about landing now. Something some people might wonder how if there's a way of orientating the balloon in the real world. Yes, you could using a system of vents. You can actually rotate the balloon so you can face the direction that you want to go in. In the simulator, this isn't possible at the moment, but I think Hype do say that potentially that's something they'd like to implement in the future. So we basically are stuck with our back to the wind, which kind of makes sense because it means that we're pointing in the direction, we're facing in the direction that we're moving in. So I think the time has come. Don't look so worried, fella. Do not look so worried. You know what my helicopter... Yeah, I know it's you. I know it's you. Yeah, you know what my helicopter flying is like. So I'm going to pull this here lever and we'll start going down. Just checking the VSI here. Not going down quite as fast as I expected. I wonder if we can... No. Okay, no. Well, we just pull it a bit more. And just keep an eye on that. Ideally, I want to get down on those fields down there, certainly before we get to the trees. So let's see how fast-ish a descent we can make. I have a feeling that I should have started this descent a little bit earlier, so this might get quite interesting for you. Now, while we're doing that, let's just quickly hop outside and have a look at the canopy. Keep saying the canopy, it's the envelope. This is a... I nearly said it's a helicopter. It's a balloon, not a parachute. So I'm just watching the shape of that. We need to make sure that we maintain a nice envelope and it doesn't start to cause us any problems. What I can, of course, do, I guess, we can keep that vent open, but I can just give it a little burn every now and again just to keep the shape. So let's have a look. I have got a feeling if we don't make that field there, I might have to skip it over those trees and try and get to a field over there. Otherwise we will be landing in trees, and that's not a good idea. How's the envelope doing? Is that starting to wobble a bit? I don't think so. Quick check outside. Oh yeah, Wobble City. That shows that works. Right, just heated it a bit, so it's keeping the shape. Let's go to the outside view and see at what point potentially that starts to wobble. There it goes. Not really very clever. I don't think in real life you'd be doing what I'm doing, which is just riding on the edge, but I'm trying to get down on those trees. Sorry, Freudian slip. I'm trying not to get down on those trees. I'm trying to get into that field, but I have a nasty feeling that we're gonna get there whether we like it or not, in which case, which is fine, we can just skip. Yeah, I'm gonna go, it's on a hill, which isn't great. We kind of want it to be flat, but actually no, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? How's the envelope looking? Yeah, envelope's fine. Is there a set temperature at which the envelope does its thing? Yeah, I think we're going to have to play it safe, and we're going to hop over the trees. Don't worry everybody, I am trained. Nothing to worry about. This is one of those awful moments you think, have I got crash detection on? Because I'd hate to end the video here. Come on. Oh, I can see an area just there. It looks like it just flattens out a bit. Not convinced, you know. I think we're heading for those trees again. Who would fly a balloon in the mountains? Oh, there's a green light over there. That must be search and rescue coming out to get us. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can do this. As I say, this is not ideal. I don't really want to be landing on a slope, but I fear we haven't really got much choice in the matter. Unless we just keep floating for the next half an hour, and I don't think you really want to be floating with me for the next half an hour. Right, let's jump outside. Rest the pump a bit. Look at that! Look at that. Well, if ever there was any doubt that within my warbird pilot heart there lurked a balloon pilot, that doubt has now been expunged. Here we are, down on terra firma, in the beautiful Tuscan countryside, and we survived it. We missed the trees, we landed in another field, and we're safe. So there you go. I think this is a great bit of fun. I really do. I think it's a great way of seeing scenery. They've implemented some really nice features like the radio, so that you've got something you can listen to. I can see this actually, for me personally, sometimes if I'm working on my work computer and then I've got the sim computer next to me, I can kind of imagine setting this to fly over some really nice scenery and then working away and just every now and again looking at the screen and you know, admiring the scenery. So that would be quite fun as well to have on the side there. Great way of seeing the world a bit. But I just think it's so atmospheric, and you know, High Performance Group are very good at putting detail and realism and nice features into their products, and this is no exception really. Fireworks, nice little touch. Yeah, I think this is absolutely great. So there you can see our envelope has now collapsed as the hot air has come out of it, and this brings our flight to a close. The only thing to say now is that this is going to be available from Friday, October the 7th of the year 2022, if you're watching this in the future. So hey, it's already out, and it's going to be priced at $15 on the High Performance Group website, and you know, that's not a bad price really, for what is essentially a great bit of fun. Just trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. It comes with 17 liveries, so you've got plenty of different things to choose from there, and it has been designed and optimized for VR with really good FPS performance. So yeah, perfect for VR. And I have to say, if ever a product lended itself to VR in the sim, this is it. You're going to see some beautiful scenery and have a really good feeling of floating over the terrain. Anyway, thank you very much for coming along on the flight with me. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, we have a Discord. I'll put a link down below, and if you liked what you saw and you'd like to see it again, please don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you again on the channel very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.